So, Regal Day, we will explore the heart of clinical and research psychology, the clinical interview. The way you conduct an interview can deeply affect the outcome of your assessment and ultimately the help you provide your clients. So, before we dive into concepts, let me ask, have you ever been interviewed in a way that made you feel heard or understood? What made that experience positive or negative? The key element of the interviewer, a clinical interview success hinges largely on the interviewer. So it's not just about following a script. The interviewer must have both technical skill and interpersonal wisdom. General skills interviewers cultivate: the first, quieting yourself. So this means more than speaking less. So it means controlling your internal thoughts so you can fully listen. So just like when you have a lot on your mind during a conversation, you miss important details. Second, being self-aware. So know how your personality affects others and how they relate to you. So halimbawa, if you tend to interrupt or rush people, clients may feel unheard. Third, developing positive working relationships. Rapport is essential. So think of rapport as the bridge that connects you and your client. It is built with empathy, respect, cultural sensitivity, and attentive listening. Number four, specific behaviors. So that enhance interviewing. So first one is the eye contact. Eye contact shows attention, but different cultures interpret eye contact differently. So for example, too much eye contact may be uncomfortable in some Filipino communities, but too little may seem rude or inattentive. Second one is the body language. So face your client, nod occasionally, avoid fidgeting. Your nonverbal cue says a lot about your interest, but beware because body language carries different meanings in different cultures. The third is your vocal qualities, the pitch, yung tone, and volume. So these affects how your message is received. So a warm tone may invite sharing, while a harsh tone may shut a client down. Fourth, verbal tracking. So this involves repeating key phrases or words clients use to show you that you are listening closely. So for instance, if a client says, "I feel overwhelmed at work," you might respond, "You feel overwhelmed when your workload gets too heavy." So para itong paraphrasing. The fifth, using proper names. So always use the client's preferred name carefully. Avoid nicknames or maybe dropping middle names or family names that are important culturally. So these mistakes can break rapport or feel disrespectful. Six, observing client behavior. During the interview, this is informative as the word spoken. So clients may appear calm, anxious, emotional, or distracted. So each gives clues about their state of mind or comfort level. Components of the interview. Rapport is a positive, comfortable connections that encourages disclosure. So good interviewers create rapport by making clients feel at ease from the start, acknowledging the unique nature of the interview, and using language that matches the client's style. Directive versus non-directive interview styles. For the directive, the interviewer leads, asking specific, often close-ended questions like, "Have you been diagnosed with depression before?" Non-directive, the client leads with open-ended questions inviting elaborate answers. So can you tell me more about have you been feeling lately? The effectiveness of interviews depends on responses such as number one, Open and close-ended questions. Open-ended questions encourage sharing. Close-ended questions gather specific information quickly. Clarification, it ensures understanding. Like, what did you mean when you said that? Confrontation, so use gently to address inconsistencies. So, example, earlier you said that you felt happy, but now you mentioned sadness. So, can you help me understand this? Paraphrasing, restates client's words to show listening. You said you only binge when alone. Reflection of feeling echoes emotions, so even if it's not explicitly named. So it sounds like you're feeling frustrated right now. Summarizing ties together interview themes. You acknowledge your binging is a problem and you want to improve. Conclusions in an interview. Depending on context, conclusion may summarize the session, provide a diagnostic impression, and recommend next steps or referrals. The pragmatics of interview note taking. So, some interviewers take extensive notes, others minimize note taking to maintain rapport. Study shows mixed effects depending on note taking style and client preference. Audio recording or video recording. So this can provide accurate records but may reduce client openness. It must always obtain consent and explain the usage. So interview room setup. So this one, balance professionalism and comfort. So a too clinical setting may feel cold, too casual, and may challenge authority. Next is the confidentiality. Clients often misunderstand confidentiality. Inform them early about the limits. Kasi nga, we must break the confidentiality if there's a risk of harm. So this transparency builds trust. The types of research interviews, structured interviews. This is fixed questions and mostly close-ended. High reliability, easy to compare data. May feel rigid, limiting depth. Semi-structured interviews, core questions plus flexibility. Richer data but harder to analyze. Unstructured interviews, flexible, open-ended discussions. Deep insight but complex data management. Focus groups, group discussions to explore collective views. Risk of conformity but reveals social dynamics. So, mastering the art of interviewing is essential to both clinical practice and research. So, by developing self awareness, cultural sensitivity, and active listening skills, you will build strong rapport and gather meaningful data. So, next session, we will practice these skills through role play. So, prepare by reflecting on how you might apply today's principles in the real interviews.